7 out of 10 inquiries that we receive, especially from the ones who are living in metro cities, are to convert their guest rooms into cinema rooms. Now, I know why this is more logical because we don't have guests all over the year, and that is why converting that room, which is spare room, to a cinema room will always make sense. Now, if you are one of them as well, then don't forget to watch the video till the end because I am going to share some of the best tips and tricks that you should be aware of, especially while converting your guest room into a wonderful cinema experience. The first step is to get your projector screen right. Now, the reason why I'm saying projector screen, well, I'm pretty sure you already have a TV in your living room or bedroom. Now, especially for your cinema room experience, you cannot settle in for a TV, and that's where the need for a projector screen is very, very high. And in such cases, going for a fixed frame screens will not be best for you because you don't want your guests to look at a big giant white wall. You always want to have it motorized so that when not in use, you can pull it back up or it can go back into the ceiling. So this way your room can stay clean and the screen can come down only when you want to. The other thing that you can also do is go for a projector which is with a lift. Now lift, I know that it requires 16 inches false ceiling depth. So if you have it, then go for a projector that also goes back into the ceiling when not in use. Else, you can go for a portable projector which you can keep it on the centerpiece, or the last option is to go for a mount-based installation for a projector which can be permanently there, but again the screen will always come down only when you need it. The second step is to go for smart LED lighting which can give you a perfect ambience. Now smart LED lighting can first of all be a good dimmable light because I know guest rooms, if used as guest room, you would need the brightness level at 100%, but when not, and if you're using it as a cinema room, you can dim it to 50% or even 20%. So that way your cinema experience will not get compromised. The second type of lighting which you can use in the guest room is the smart tunable lights. Now tunable lights such as white, warm white and yellow can also work well in such cases because when you want to use the room as a bedroom during the daytime, you can turn on the white light. During the evening hours, you can turn it into a warm white, and when it's night time and you want to watch the movie, well, then yellow light will come in handy. So that's the advantages of going for a tunable light. The third type of light is indirect light. Now we always say this, that when you're doing a theater room, you need to have indirect light so that the lighting is not harsh and it doesn't go directly into your eyes. So use maximum cove light or indirect light which can go behind certain panels. That ways you'll have a room which can work well even for your cinema experiences. And the last type of lighting is to use a RGB lighting. Now this is very, very specific. So if you are into gaming, RGB lighting can work for you. If you are a believer of a mood lighting and you want to create various colors, then obviously RGB lighting is a must for you. So these various types of smart LED lighting is nice, and a pro tip is to get a small automation control done in that room so that you can have all these lightings controlled over Alexa. The third pro tip that I can give you of converting a guest room into a cinema room is to go for interiors that work well in both the cases. Now what do I mean by interiors? Well, first of all, the curtains. Now I'm pretty sure your guest room has one window at least, and when you have this window, you do not want to use a normal curtain. Always go for blackout curtains. Blackout curtains have got a layer behind the fabric which obstructs the outside light. Now that helps in daytime viewing where you do not want the outside light to hamper your home cinema experience. So always go for blackout curtains with thick fabric so that the thick fabric can also take care of your sound absorption. The second thing that you can do in interiors is to go for loose carpet. Now loose carpet can work in multiple ways. The best advantage for sound is that it can absorb your sound reflections coming from the floor. Now this works well especially if you are going for angled in-ceiling speakers or floor standing speakers. Also, we all know that bedrooms without carpets look very empty. So if you want your guest bedroom to feel very nice and luxurious, adding a carpet will always work in your favor. Especially the ones which are thick pile carpets, that really brings a nice cushiony experience. So always go for loose carpets on the floor to blend well with your interiors for guest room / cinema room. And the third thing that you should do in your guest rooms, which you also want to use as a cinema room, is to go for subtle wall colors. Now what do I mean by subtle wall colors? Well, I'm sure most of you have seen the photos of home theater rooms, and they are always dark in color. Like the one room that I'm sitting in right now is again dark. So instead of opting for darker color palette, always go for subtle colors, something like grey, something like beige. Now these kind of colors will work well in both the scenarios, where it will try to absorb as much as light as possible so that your home cinema experience is not compromised, but at the same time, when your guests come in, they would love the environment around. So always go for subtle wall colors. The fourth one is my favorite topic, which is about audio setup. Now audio setup in any home cinema experience is extremely important because 50% of your experience is going to be dependent upon that. So in such cases, there are three types of choices that I always rely on, especially when I design a guest room which is going to be used as a cinema room. The first choice of speaker is a angled in-ceiling speaker or an in-wall speaker. Now angled in-ceiling or in-wall speakers work great because they go hidden in the room and you will not see them. So when your guests are utilizing the room, they will not see any boxes protruding out from the wall, and everything can look very, very nice, discreet and extremely ambient. The second type of speakers is the satellite speakers. Now satellite speakers are small tiny speakers which can be blending in the room. So they have literally got various swivel, tiltable angles. So you can put them very close to the ceiling, get the throw down, you can do multiple combinations with it. So that's why the satellite speakers are again one of the most preferred choices in the guest room / cinema rooms. Now these satellite speakers can be from various brands. If you want to know some of the best ones, don't forget to watch the video here. And the third type of speaker is for those of you who are having rooms which are under 12 to 14 feet. Now if your viewing distance is under this 12 to 14 feet, you can go for soundbars with subwoofer as well as with dedicated surround speakers. Now soundbar experience is, I know, not very, very close to the wired setup, but if you want to go slim, sleek and nice solution, then always a soundbar will be the preferred choice. The fifth pro tip is to opt for multi-use storage and furniture. Now what do I mean by storage and furniture? Well, first of all, we all know that a guest room requires to have at least one wardrobe. Now what you can do is you can smartly plan that space in such a manner that the AV receiver cabinet can also be flushed in the same cupboard. This way, your AV rack doesn't have to be separate and you don't have to have a separate wardrobe unit. You can have the AV receiver go inside the cupboard, but make sure to give enough ventilation to your AV receiver. Now if you want to know some of the best tips for your AV receiver placement, again check the link that is shared above. The next smart move while planning your interiors or the furniture and storage is to take care of your sofa / bed. Now I know going for a full bed may not be the best thing, especially if you don't have guests coming always in your home. So the best way is to go for a sofa which converts into bed or as a lounger, and this way you can have your viewing experience done on these nice smart loungers. Some people also opt for those foldable beds. However, I am not a great fan of it because it requires a box-like shape and the surround speakers can go outside that box. And when that happens, you will not get the best sound experience. So avoid foldable bed, but instead of that, go for a sofa / bed / lounger. That's a very, very smart move. With these smart tips and choices, I am pretty sure you are now ready to convert your guest room into a very, very high quality home cinema experience. Now I have used these tips myself while designing several of our guest rooms / cinema rooms, and if you have found any of these tips helpful, do let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I, Tanmay Mehta, your home cinema consultant or home theatre wale bhaiya, will see you again in the next one.